Hey, Right Riders, Keith Wheeler here, back with another video for you. Hand-drawn mazes are a great way to make your maze books and activity books look more unique and really take them to the next level. But hold on, you may be saying, Keith, I'm not self-publishing low-content books. I write children's books, fiction books, romance books, or even nonfiction books. What if I told you that you could be making more book sales by adding mazes to your list of offerings to bring more attention to your written books? Crazy, right? It's true. Regardless of what type of books you normally publish, you can benefit from hand-drawn mazes. And don't worry, I'm not actually talking about drawing the mazes yourself. I'm talking about a new maze software. So let me flip the screen around and I'm going to show you how to make fun mazes using this new maze generator that just launched called Hand-Drawn Mazes. Now, obviously, this isn't going to be a full maze software tutorial, but I just wanted to show you how quickly and easily you can create hand-drawn mazes even if you normally self-publish written books. Now with that, let's get started. Okay, here we are on hand-drawn mazes, and you can create a collection, or you can go down here to default collection. I'm just gonna start off with the default, and there's tutorials within the software that will walk you through each and every one of these steps. So again, this is not gonna be a deep dive tutorial. I just wanna show you some of the amazing things that you can do with hand-drawn mazes. And I actually have the full package, the Elite. So some of the things are not that I'm going to show you may not be available in the front end purchase, but I'm going to show you quite a few things that are in both. The one thing that is in the first package that you buy is you can get 150 different mazes. So as you can see right here, I actually have more than that. I've got the different types, type 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. I think it goes to like 40 different types. And within each type, there's 30 different, on average, 30 different mazes. With the front end purchase, you're going to get access to 150 different mazes. So there's going to be 5 different maze types and about 30 mazes within each type. So again, 150. So that's amazing right there. But anyway, let me just show you some of the cool things that you can do. First, before I get into the actual mazes, I want to show you the settings, some of the things that you can do. You can set margins. It already defaults to 1/2 inch margins. So if you don't want to deal with bleed, you can actually go in here and just click show page margins. And it's going to give you a little line around here. So you can make sure that when you're creating your mazes and the things that you add into it, that you're not going outside the margin and have to deal with bleed. So I'm going to start with 8.5 by 11, which is the default. I'm just going to leave the page right there. You can also center your page number if you want. You can also change the number of solutions per page. So it's going to default to 6, but you can make it 1, 2, 4, 6, or even 8 solutions per page. So let's just go to the mazes. And the first thing I'm going to do is, what if you have a children's book? I do children's books, as you know. And so let's say I want to take my book, Mimi's Adventure, and I want to make a maze about it. So I can just go, let's start with type 1. And I can just scroll through here and look at them, or I can hit expand. If I hit expand, it's just going to put it down this way so I can look at them kind of compared to one another. This one right here, it's just going to jump it on over here to the right-hand side to my work area. If I click on it, I can actually hit this little button right here, and that's going to fit it to the screen, so it's going to make it bigger. I could also just click on it and just drag it and move it around, make it bigger, make it smaller. Okay, so here's my maze. So I'm going to go to upload images. So let's say I want, this is Mimi's little girl. So I'm going to put this here. Now I can go in and add in text if I want. And I've got my borders to make sure that all this is within the borders. So that's good. And there we go. There's a maze. Now, one thing you can do is you can actually look at the path. So let's say I want to show my solutions. I can go right here, and this is going to show the solution just here. It's just visual. It's just for your purpose, so you can see what the answer path is. Now, it's very possible that obviously you can scroll down here and you can look. If I had maze solutions turned on, which I do, I can see it here. But let's imagine you've got 30, 50, even 100 pages. You don't want to keep scrolling down to look at the solutions down there. So just by clicking this button right here, you can see the solution here. Again, this will not print like this. It's just for visual purposes for you as the creator. Let's say that I want the path to look a little different, especially in the solution. I want, let's say, right, you can see all these different style options. Right now, it's just a line. I can make it, let's see what style 4 does. Now, as you can see, it's arrowed lines. So it's, again, it just changes things up. This is just how it's going to look on the solution. Again, not going to show up when you print it right here. Also, you can click on view path. And as you can see, there are 3 different paths. You know, it's more than just one way. So you can choose path 1 and take a look at it. And there it is right there. So if you want to make sure that there's only one path that they're going to take, you might want to put something maybe right here, another image that's blocking it. So if I'm taking Mimi through here and I don't want her to go this way, I might put, you know, a bale of hay in the way, which is something in the book, or, you know, maybe the Eiffel Tower, things that she's visited, things like that you can do that, again, will block it off so other paths are not possible. Some of my children's books are concept books, and, you know, I'm teaching children different concepts, whether it's numbers, letters, things like that. What about if I did something like this? Let's go to type 4. And each type is unique. So like this type, as you saw, the other one was you had the beginning and the end. This one has 1 and leads to 3. So I could click on this, make it bigger. And let's say I want to teach them rhyming. Okay, so I can go and find the word that rhymes with brain. So we're going to start with the brain. There we go. And then we're going to have a truck, a car, and a train. Obviously, train rhymes with brain. So we need to figure out which one of these paths is the one that leads to brain. So again, we're going to click on this. We're going to click on select path and see what the active path is. Okay, it's 1. And we're going to do the solution. And there we go. So we want the train to go right there because that's going to rhyme. And then the car and the truck, I can put in either order. All right. So that quick, which vehicle rhymes with brain, and they can pick which one. I can change my font type. I can change whether it's centered, left aligned, right aligned, the font size. I can change all that. I can even go in and change the text color. So there we go. So there's, again, another quick way that you can create some amazing mazes using these hand-drawn mazes. So some of the other options that you have is you can clone it. So if you have some kind of background that maybe you're like filigree or your logo or whatever that you want to keep consistent, you can put that on one page and then go in and clone that page. Now, if you get one of the other packages, you actually have the option to do a bulk clone. So instead of just cloning one page at a time, you can take one page and clone it 50 times if you want. And here, let's just add a page. All right, so we'll move down to this new page. And all right, so we're in here. And let's say we're not doing children's books. Okay, we want to do something different. Maybe you write fiction. And as you can see, this one has 1, 2, 3 on this side and 3 on this side. So they're like interwoven. And so what you can do is if you're writing fiction, you might have 3 characters, and each of those 3 main characters have, you know, 3 different personalities or, you know, 3 different love interests. And you can have, you know, pictures of all of them on the different, you know, starting points and ending points and have them linked to each other. And again, you click on the different view paths, view path right here, and you can see path 1. So you'll make sure that that person connects to whatever you want it to connect to. Then you do the same thing for path 2 and so on. Now, obviously, if your main product that you create is no content, low content books, then you don't have to worry about all these other things that I'm talking about. But you do want to take what you generate and make it unique, you know, but you can still make it themed. You can have a maze book or activity book all about animals. And one thing that you can do in here is on one of the additional levels that you can purchase is design elements. And within here, they have different niches. As you can see, space and astronaut, trees, different arrows. And within each one, there's about 20 different images. So you can see farm, bulldogs and shop, beach, all this. So you can add things in here, make it themed, even if you don't write books. You know, there's not really a lot of ways that you can tie mazes and stuff like that to nonfiction, right? Wrong. I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. So let's say I have a nonfiction book and it's for authors, okay? And I want to talk about a terminology that I talked about in my book, and I want to kind of do something fun to kind of remind them of what the meaning of that terminology is, you know, kind of bring it home. So what about if you watch one of my previous videos, and I'll include a link to it above, where I talk about a specific thing, which is the name of the page, the first page and the last page in a book. That one page that doesn't really have any text on it, what is that called? Well, let's go to upload images, and I can click multiple ones at a time and insert them. And obviously they're going to overlap, but we'll move them. It's fine. Okay, so we got this, we got this, we got this, and then we have our definition. So we're going to go down here and we're going to bring our definition right here, the first and last page in a book. Now, if you didn't want to put this text in here, if you didn't want to do it as an image, you could just create the an actual text, add text right here, and then just drag it wherever you want it. So we need to see which one of these paths is correct, is leading to the right one. So I give the right answer, which if you don't know the answer is, it's called a flyleaf. And again, you check out that video and you'll learn that, but let's go to the solution. Okay, so right here is where the correct answer needs to go. Ironically, that's where it is. So we will just make this a little smaller. So again, real quick, I took a nonfiction idea, a book about, you know, teaching authors terminology or whatever, and I used it to, again, you know, bring in some reminders of what that terminology means. Instead of just doing like a workbook and that kind of stuff, something more fun. Now, another thing that you can use it for, regardless of what type of books you write, you can use them to actually do some brand awareness. I've been in market research for over 20 years, and studies have shown that someone has to see your ad or your brand or your product approximately 7 times before they decide to buy it. Well, what if you can do a little bit of psychological training for them to get them familiar with your product without them even knowing it? So that's one thing that you can do, and you can use mazes to make it fun. Some of my concept books, one of the series I have is called My Buddy Knows, and it covers letters and numbers and colors and shapes and all that other good stuff. So I can go in, I can upload some images. This is my buddy Josh. I picked him because he is one of the most memorable of all my characters. So I'm going to take this, put him right there, and his book is actually My Buddy Knows Letters. All right, so that's the answer. So this middle one right here. So that's the one that's going to be the letters. And I just did different colors so that way it would stand out better. You know, they're the primary colors. So again, teaching them, it's for kids. So there we go. And then I could put something in here that says, My Buddy Josh Knows. And what that's doing is not only is it just going to be a fun maze, but it's giving them brand recognition of my character. So when they see this book, then they're going to remember the blue-haired kid with the tie and the hat. Also, My Buddy Josh Knows will again trigger that when they see the phrase My Buddy Knows, it's going to remind them. They might not even realize where they've seen it from, but it's going to look familiar. And then the fact that I'm doing letters, numbers, and shapes, these are all different types of concept books that I've done in the My Buddy Knows series. So again, it doesn't have to be for kids, but taking something that is related to your books and your brand and making a maze based on that, again, that can trigger memories. And I can use the picture of Buddy and the other characters from the other books, as well as the phrase My Buddy Knows. And I can use that throughout, you know, sporadically throughout the maze book that I do, or activity book, whatever it happens to be. So again, just one more way that you can use hand-drawn mazes to bring more attention to you as an author and your products. Now, real quick, I just want to show you a couple more of the maze options. Obviously, I'm not going to show you all 40 of them, but I do want to show you a couple. Again, if you want to do something like with, big images, or works really well if you're trying to do something along the lines of what I was talking about with the nonfiction, where you're using words. It kind of looks like a cloud bubble, and it's bringing you from point A to point B. So you can have text in here, you can have an image in here, or whatever. Imagine you can have like a groundhog, and then something over here that the groundhog is trying to find, things like that. You can also, and I didn't really cover this too much, but you can also click on here and you can change the maze color, and you can change the solution color. I'm leaving it black and white right now because obviously black and white is going to be cheaper when you print it. But again, those are options that you have. And when I show you the colors, you actually have, full range of the different hues that you could do. But again, we're just going to stick with the basic with the black. And again, this is just another type. I mean, it's just got one entry and one exit, but it's different, something more industrial. So again, depending on the type of puzzle book that you're going to do, what the theme is, you've got all these different maze types and 30 different mazes within each type to really help bring things together. And again, to get that continuity, but also to give some variety as far as the different types. So what did you think about hand-drawn mazes? Let me know down in the comments. Personally, I love the huge range of different types of hand-drawn mazes that you have to choose from. That, along with the amazing amount of customization that you can do. I mean, things like controlling the number of solutions on a page really makes it super easy to create hand-drawn mazes quick and easy. So if you never knew how to make fun mazes before, now you see that with just a few clicks, you can really start generating unique, fun, and profitable hand-drawn mazes. Again, if you want to learn more about hand-drawn mazes software, just head on over to kwheelerbooks.com/HDM. Now, perhaps hand-drawn mazes aren't for you. Maybe you're looking for something a bit more traditional, or maybe even a bit more unique. But what if I told you that there was a software that actually allows you to upload your own images and then create a maze in the shape of that image? Well, there is. Just click on this video right here and check out the demonstration that I did of that maze software. It's made by the same creators of hand-drawn mazes, so the quality is just as amazing. See what I did there? Anyway, if you've already seen that video, or maybe you're not ready for it just yet, then YouTube says this video right here, it's got your name written all over it. I'll catch you in one of these videos, and remember to write right.